Thank you, Ceann Comhairle. Firstly, let me say that this scandal has gone on for years under the nose of the Department of Health and all of those involved in what should have been the management of a very serious issue. And nothing was really done during those years to encourage parents to have the engagement with their consultants and with their hospitals, and to ensure that there would be early intervention for them. We have seen failure after failure, and nobody is held to account. We have seen in that time significant money being allocated to the Department of Health, and all to no effect. We're now talking about more action and more people involved in the management. So what we have here is a failure of the Department of Health, a failure of those that administer in the context of administration of the hospitals and that, and a failure to look after young people who deserved a hell of a lot better. I can't express my position any better than what Claire did when she wrote to me about her son, Dara. She said that at Dara's outpatient appointment in November 24, I asked directly whether he could be considered for surgery in New York, London or the Blackrock Clinic. I was told emphatically no. In the months that followed, Dara underwent all required pre-op assessments, which were completed and signed off in early 2025, confirming that he was ready for surgery. And despite that, no date was set for that surgery and no further information was provided. His clinical plan was for surgery to take place before Easter 25. That was considered the time frame for the best possible outcome. That is why it mattered. This is a child who has already been brought through so much. He deserved the chance at a best outcome. But that chance has now been lost. As a result of the delay to surgery, Dara's spinal condition has progressed. He now has a worsening lower curve, while the upper portion of his spine has become arthro-fused. At this point, most recent appointment, I was informed that the section of the spine can no longer be surgically addressed due to its complexity. I find that harrowing for a mother to look at her child go through this and then not be able to have the surgery that is required. Claire goes on to say that to make matters worse, I have learned that visiting spinal surgeons from Morgan Stanley were in CHI, not only on the 31st of March and the 1st of April 25, but also in December 2024. These were at least two clear opportunities to put Dara forward for potential care on an international pathway, and both were missed instead. When we attended the clinic on the 3rd of April, we were told plainly there is no date and there is no time frame for surgery. That is not waitlist management, that is abandonment. And I agree absolutely with Claire. And when I'm mentioning Claire Comhairle, there are many Claires out there. There are many sons like Dara out there fighting to have their case heard, fighting to have the surgery that would make life so different for them. Claire goes on then to say, I also know that not one child under the care of the Temple Street Service has accessed surgery at the Blackrock Clinic via CHI in the past years. That is a deeply troubling fact. It means that a large cohort of children, entirely based on the CHI site they attend, have had no access to major outsourcing initiatives. This is not equity, this is not national planning, this is exclusion. This causes a fundamental and urgent question. What is the pathway for access to Blackrock Clinic, Morgan Stanley and Great Ormond Street Hospital? Who decides which children will be selected? And it feels like my lovely son was simply overlooked, forgotten And that is something no parent should have to live with. Now, I can point to a second case, again in Kilkenny, where the operation was carried out in 2004, a long time ago, you might say. But Conor was seen in 2004 when he was 4. Then in 2009, he had surgery. In 2013, he was seen again. Surgery was promised in 2014. Now he's starting to fall out of the system. And he still has not got the surgery required for the problems that he is now experiencing. And when his mother, and I want you to take note of this, Minister, when his mother went about getting the information from 2009 and the various other dates from then to this, she was made ask through all sorts of avenues for that information. She got little or no help. Nobody reached out to her. Nobody understood what she, or wanted to understand what she was trying to achieve. Now this young man carries, if you like, the problems of his childhood right through to his teenage years and now as a young man. How is that right? There is nothing, Minister, that you can say to these parents this evening that will satisfy them in the context of dates and times and the reduction in the waiting list. But I would encourage you to read your emails, which these have been sent to you by the parents, and I would ask you to respond and to engage and to prevent further pain for the families.